What's shaking YouTubeites, as my man King of the Golden State would say. Welcome to Lords of the Long Box presents the CovrPrice Shakers the week. It is Thursday. We're just a few hours away from watching The Bad Batch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think,
man.
right?
I think so.
This.
Friday?
Yeah, I can watch a Bad Batch tonight, man. So thank
Love
God
it.
this week is coming to a close.
Great show. Great show.
Any requests for songs to keep while the people are congregating? What, you guys have anything? You got
Doobie Brothers, man. I can't get enough of that.
That's all you had to say.
That's it. I love.
I'll start. 1, 2, ready.
Down around the corner, half a mile from here, you see them road trains run, and you watch them disappear without love. Where would you be now? Without love. No, I saw Miss Lucy down along the tracks. She lost her home and her family, and she won't be coming back without love. Where would you be right now? Without love. Well, the Illinois Central and the Southern Central break. Got to keep on pushing my mug, 'cause you know they're running late without love. Where would you be now? Without love. Illinois Central and the Southern Central freight. Got to keep on pushing my mug. You know they're running late without love. Where would you be now? Without love. Where pistons keep on turning and the wheels go round and round, and the steel rails are cold and hard, and about the day go down without love. Where would you be right now? Without love. Ooh, where would you be now?
Dude, they crushed that.
Where would you be right now? For those who don't know, DJ Scratch Bastard, DJ Chris Carnes. Scratch Bastard is also the guy that does the Imperial March one that I played on May the 4th be with you. I mean, that was back in 2001. So, and Massive Ass, before it starts, can somebody explain the DJ intros on the videos? I guess it's kind of self-explanatory. It's just to hype up the crowd, and
People get in the congregate, get home from work.
a lot of
Get a
time people get
beer.
notifications that a video is starting, and then they immediately go into it. So we give you a minute or two to congregate, and also hypes up the
Percolate.
crowd. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. And plus, I come from a DJ background. I used to do it in my videos. So it's
You
only
do it all the
natural.
time in your videos, too.
It's only a natural progression, man. We have DJ Curse that's also on the CovrPrice Top 10. So, I mean, it's just something we do. Beats and... Oh, shit. I'm going to make a show called Beats and Comics. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
There you
That's
go.
it.
So who has a pic of Otto with hair?
Oh,
I actually have a pic of Otto with hair.
no, you do not. Do you really?
I do. You posted it on your Facebook when you first got married. I do believe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Hold on.
Oh,
Let me show it right now. I'm just kidding.
no, don't do that, man. Come on. It's
Welcome,
Simply Comics today.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to Lords of Longbox presents the Cover Price Top 10, brought to you from our friends from CovrPrice.com for all your price guides, collections, and trends. You can sign up for a 2-week free trial, $2.99 for a minimum subscription that gets you 10 shakers. If you sign up for $6.99 and get a full-blown membership, you can get $6.99 and get all 50 shakers. And we're going to go into that later and show you more of what the website actually offers as far as collections and trends and whatnots. This show is also sponsored by our good friends over at KRScomics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off. Do you guys want to know what they're dropping tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's sick.
Do you? Are you ready?
Yeah,
for this?
I'm ready. I'm sitting. I'm ready. Let's see it.
The
Boom.
Venom number 35, the last issue, I guess issue 200 in their legacy. This is the Mike Mayhew. The green variant on the left there is $25, and the silver one you can only get as part of a set. So it's $25 for the green one, $75 for the set. I think it's silver or platinum. It's called green because the background of the Venom on the right, the left is green, and then the silver one is absolutely dope. Starting tomorrow at 12 noon, 9 a.m. Pacific, use the Lords of the LOTLB discount to get 15% off, $25 or $75 of your choosing. Make sure you set your alarms because this, I have a feeling it's going to be a quick banger. Also, you could use the Lord's discount on the KRSpoolbox.com for all your new comics or all the weekly comics that you buy. Put them in there. Use the Lord's discount. You get 15% off those bad boys. So not a bad deal at all. Just for you newbies or just join us, recent KRS Comics exclusive just dropped. Is that bad boy.
The hotness. Show the yellow cover.
That one. This one. This one. And I just showed this on Monday. I had the drip variant.
I missed out on the drip.
Yeah, so I had all the I didn't get the other ones, but I got the drip variant as well as the regular one. So yeah, boys and girls, this is the Cover Price Top 10. Thank you guys all for joining us. I see some spine ticks in there. There's a shout out to everybody in the live chat. Make sure if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. If you're listening on the rewind, this show is also available on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. If you have an Alexa, device, say, "Hey Alexa, play Lords of the Longbox podcast on Spotify." Last time I did that, my Alexa in the other room started playing. So, just a little tip for you boys and girls: when you do a podcast, make sure you got you can do that. So you have to have
podcast
Spotify
pranks.
Yeah, that's right. So this is the Cover Price Shakers of the week. This list comes from our friends. As I said, let me get the graphic up here, man. So sorry guys, I've been so swamped with work. It's just like weekends couldn't come any sooner, man. Project testing and it's just the worst, man. But this list comes from our friends at Cover Price, focusing on new sales or the most interesting sales found on their daily Shakers list. This list changes several times every day, so make sure you check it out every day to review some of the hottest trending books. And I would already tell the guys, this list came to me yesterday, and there was already a new high sale on one of these books on here. You guys don't know it yet, though. Just leave that out there.
Just leave it out there.
All right. I do believe Otto the Odd is going
right.
first. And how apropos that Otto the Odd gets this book. So first up on the list, what do we got?
Oh, God. We got Alph 48. We have talked about this book many times. I will find this book out in a while just because they've got to be in long boxes. So somewhere, right? As a recap to the previous times we highlighted this book, Alph was a 100-episode American sitcom that ran from 1986 to 1990. Some of the people at Cover Price even go as far as call it the greatest show ever. Alph, for all you guys that know, which stands for Alien Life Form, was the main character on the show. He befriends a human family and lives with them. The Alph comic actually made it to 50 issues, running from 1988 through 1992. It's no surprise that the cover of Alph 48 is controversial, with its implied Alph on a seal or Alph, you know what, action, and otherwise younger audience format. But the really fun part about it is how that pokes fun at the Comics Code Authority, if you guys can see that, just daring them to decline the book. Apparently, the Comic Code Authority was asleep at the wheel when they let this one get through, but we love it because it showed how creators were able to pull off this triple entendre. This has always been a pricey book with solid copies going for hundreds of dollars. But post-COVID, this has quickly increased in value like everything else. In fact, this week, a CGC 9.8 sold for $1,400 and destroyed the sale, right, guys? Destroyed this last sale of $830 for a 9.8 earlier this year. So, holy cow, Alph on a seal. 100% fresh, you know,
raping seals and eating cats. That was his thing, right? He ate cats.
That
was like every time he saw a cat, he was like, "I want it." But if you look at the cover, it's pretty funny. It says, "Caution: do not buy if safety seal is missing." But and then at the bottom, no animals were injured during the making of this cover. Too bad, you know. I mean, sometimes I think comics have just gotten way too serious.
Way too serious.
Way too serious. Way too dark. It's like, you know, dark this, dark that. You know, it's comic books. We're talking about picture books for kids. What happened to Alph and remember Gru the Wanderer? And
you can get some fun stuff in the kids section. They got some fun stuff.
Yeah, but you know, nowadays though, it's like everybody needs it needs to be dark.
Right.
It needs to be Snyder dark.
They want it to be realistic, realism. And you know what? Let's take it back to some fantasy land.
Yeah, you know what? It's good to have some, you know, it's good to have, you know, you got your dark side, speaking of which, and then you have your light side and sometimes right in the middle. You know, DC has a tendency to skew dark with the Snyder stuff, but then there's stuff like Aquaman and Wonder Woman that has jokes in it. And then definitely even a Marvel films as serious as The Winter Soldier still has jokes in it. You know what I mean? I always think like when you do a movie that's so dark and so serious, if you don't have a joke or two to break up the monotony, you know what I mean? You just get drowned with like, oh God, this is so bleak, you know, just give me a little something, you know what I mean? But you know, hey man, it's fun. And this is one of those books that I think is hard to find in 9A because whoever was collecting Alph was definitely not a person that was like, let me bag and board this book and put it away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It was some kid that's like, Daddy, you gotta get me. What is Alph doing? That's hush up, Lloyd. He's just having fun. Okay. Don't worry about it. All right. So Alph issue number 48 from 1991.
You know, I bet kids wouldn't even recognize what was happening. Their innocence, it's our dirty minds and our old.
They probably think he's riding an inflatable Alph seal or something like that. You know, but
you give that to a 6-year-old, they're not going to understand what the hell we see.
You give that to a jaded 35-year-old.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. He's raping that seal, then he's going to eat him. That's basically what they're saying at this point. You know what I mean? They're like, imagine Zack Snyder doing an Alph film.
Oh my God! He needs the humans.
Exactly. All right, what do we got up next?
All right,
Golden Age action. All right.
All Top Comics number 16. This is a Fox publication from 1949. Those Golden Age tentacle covers always seem to go for a big premium, and this Matt Baker classic from 1949 is no different. This week, we saw a CGC 5.5 copy of All Top Comics 16 sell for an incredible $3,360. There are no prior sales at this grade, but it eclipsed the last recorded sale of a slightly higher grade, 6.0, from August of 2020 that went for $2,665. This is a rare book with only 28 universal copies on the CGC census, and combine that with Rula the Jungle Goddess battling an octopus with Matt Baker art, and it's no surprise we're seeing these high prices whenever this book comes up for sale. This is arguably the most famous cover from the All Top Comics run, but issues 8 through 18 all feature incredible Jack Kamen and Matt Baker covers and art. So you can't go wrong with any of them if you're looking to add some good girl art comics to your collection.
That's pretty damn good art for 1949.
That is really cool.
You know what I'm thinking? The way they draw the face, because normally the Golden Age, they kind of drew all the characters, they look the same, especially the women, right? But if you look at her face, man, that's a really, and you know, it's pretty risque for 19. No wonder Congress is saying, hey man, comics are ruining the mind of children. Look at this. We got tentacles and women, and this is at least.
What are we in Japan?
This is 30 years before tentacle porn. 30 years before Curse of the Overfiend, for those who know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One day we should
you know, you know. Oh,
one day we should review that Curse of the Overfiend for the kids who don't know about the hentai. Well, it's not even really hentai. Well, okay, but it is. But anyway.
It is. Yeah. But it's
but it's also dark and violent as well. Because normally
it's a pretty good movie, actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole series of them. Curse the Overfiend. Kids, go Google it, and you'll see what we're talking about. All right, All Top Comics, issue number 6 from Fox Comics from 1949. Cool, 3,300 bones. What do we got next?
All right, so now we're going to. We talked about this one before. Amazing Spider-Man 601. This book was a hot topic last week. One of the J. Scott Campbell's followers took it upon himself to correct Campbell's take on Mary Jane in this fan favorite cover. Neither Campbell nor his fans appreciated this. Campbell turned the table and corrected this user's correction and shut him down. With that said, Campbell did hear the underlying requests and did, in fact, take the time to update it to today's standards and call it The Fix as far as original art. The Fix, guys, get this, sold online for $14,700, of which all the proceeds went to the Fresh Artists charity. Okay. However, this fervor also increased the awareness and doubled the previous market value of Amazing Spider-Man 601, which hit a new high sale of $150 and an all-time high of $399.99 for a CGC 9.8. If you would have bid that extra penny, you would have got it, man. Look at that. So, and good for him for donating that kind of money to the artists. That's fantastic. Really interesting.
If you want to up the price of your comic, so just go and take a cover and then say mock somebody, and then so they can come out and do this correction. So you can see here on the left, she kind of pushes her arms together to make more cleavage. When did this book come out? 2009. Back, in the 90s it was even worse. Come on, we're talking like Lady Death covers and everything. All this, but this dude got blown up on social media for complaining about it. It's like, come on, man, it's 2009. Can we stop canceling people for shit they did in the past? Really. You know what I mean? And we all know what J. Scott Campbell does. Hell, even the many jaws look feminine. But that's kind of funny that what he had meant to do caused this book to go up. You know what I mean? But it's funny to me because it's like, why just this one? You might as well get all the J. Scott Campbell covers because there's some sexy ones out there. And if you really, I think probably my favorite J. Scott Campbell sexy covers are from that Gen
13.
Gen 13, yes.
Yep, Gen 13.
Who's that main girl that really has major curves? Help me out in the live chat here for all you old school cats that read Gen 13.
Gen 13 was great for cover art.
There was a main chick on there that he always drew, and she was super curvy, man. I'm trying to think because there was this weird dude. Come on, help me on the live chat. For all you people who don't know, I can't believe you guys don't know.
Come on, you guys remember Gen 13? That's Image right there. Come on.
Fairchild, thank you very much.
Yeah, DJ Radius.
Shout out to DJ Radius with the, man. Gen 13 was a hot book when it came. Well, Image Comics, you should only know, right? There you go, Fairchild, man. Shout out to my man Gabe from 90s. Gabe loves 90s comics. He's always posting some great 90s books. Him and I both share a really twisted love for Stephen Platt 90s art. We always talk about it. We were posting like profit books back and forth saying, look what Stephen Platt used to do. He sucks now. Look at that, DJ Ratings. Caitlin Fairchild. All right. Now, special Marvel No Prize going out to you, buddy. It's in the mail. All right, so there we go. Amazing Spider-Man issue 601 for CGC 9.8, so for almost $400. Man, we'll just round it off. It's $400, damn it. All right, what do we got next?
Well, this was Avengers Academy #1. This is the Djurjevic 1 in 25 variant.
I'll go with that. Djurjevic.
I don't know. Yeah. The standard copy of this book landed on our top 11 runner-up spot this week if you watched on Tuesday, thanks to this book's mention on Tales from the Flip Side. The guys mentioned how this issue features several young Marvel characters like Hazmat, Metal, Stryker, Veil, and Finesse. While there's no rumor of them appearing anytime soon, they believe that due to their young age, they could show up at some point in MCU Phase 4. This variant is done by the king of connecting covers, Marko Djurjevic. Marko did 6 amazing connecting cover sets of 6 issues, each ranging from 1 in 25 to 1 in 75 ratios for Marvel back in 2010. There was an Avengers set, which this set is part of. There was a Wolverine, an X-Men, an Iron Man, Ultimate Fallout, and a Spider-Man set. Several issues in all of these sets are incredibly pricey, like the Ultimate Fallout set, of course, like Otto knows.
Oh, you had to bring it up. Now Tim's going to get all fired up. Jesus, you sell one book right before it's peaking, you're crucified for it.
the X-Men or the X-23 #1 in the X-Men set is easily a 1K book. Several others sell from about 50 plus. Basically, these are fantastic covers to pick up. However, you can now count this cover as a new addition to the expensive list of raw copy sold last week for a hefty $227.
Jeez, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh, Tim, you're muted.
That it's almost impossible to show all the connecting covers because of the way 16:9 format on YouTube. But this is, if you see, second one to the right is that Young Avengers. But this is all the covers that Ryan just said that were connecting by Djurjevic. Just simply incredible, man.
Be a great print.
Yeah,
that would be a cool art piece on your wall.
And they're also, relatively low print runs at 1 in 25 for this. So, full disclosure, Tales of Flip 5 is also part of CBSI. Our friends Matt also used to be part of the CBSI group, and I know a couple of cats that are on the Tales of the Flip side, and I've known some CBSI guys for years now, back to the Google Plus days. So on their Facebook group, they easily have about 7,000 people. So, their reach when they do a show and on their, it can reach out there. There hasn't been anything yet, but it was a great spec when they first said it. But now you got to be careful because now the prices
it makes sense. It makes sense if you're looking at characters. Who else is left, really? I mean, you've got the Young Avengers, but that's been going on for a year or two already.
Yeah,
but
so if you're trying to look at something on the bottom floor, this seems like a pretty decent.
No longer on the bottom floor, though. One at $227 for a raw dog. Plus, it's the scarcity of a 1.
I guess I meant characters, not so much the book.
Yeah. So I meant, full disclosure, there hasn't been any, news or rumors, at least from my sources that I've talked to. But that's why it's called speculation. Get in while it's cheap, but so you never know. I mean, obviously the MCU is building toward the Young Avengers, right? Kamala Khan. We have Wiccan, Speed. I mean, Katie Bishop. Thatcher's going to be an Ant-Man. That's the entire Young Avengers roster, pretty much. Patriot was shown in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I meant read the tea leaves, and it's going to be coming, right? You know what I mean? So I meant, so there you go. I did not know that. Tales and CBSI divorced. I was not aware of that. So there you go. Thank you, CovrPrice. Is that CovrPrice? Is that Matt coming in?
Yeah, that's Matt coming in.
All right, Matt. So there you go. So I mean, a lot of times when we do these lists, it's because of a social media channel, or I don't like to say influencer, but it's either going to be from somebody from within the comic book community, right, that does YouTube videos, or it can be those sites that do movie news. You know what I mean? Like, if you believe in somebody's Patreon, I won't mention his name, but I will give him the salute. For sealing our scoops. So, and then sometimes, we do some stuff that ends up on there as well. So it just there's no movie news behind it as of yet, but if you could have got it for cheap, then you're sitting in a good spot. I mean, let's put it this way, with the way there is a large, I keep harping on this, but there is a large influx of money that's coming into our comic book collecting community, and it's coming from, people who are from the video gaming collecting world, the trading card collecting world, and I'm tired of seeing people say that CGC's waitlist is so long. No, CGC waitlist is so long is because the people who come from those other collecting communities already know about grading, right? The people who grade video games and the people who grade trading cards, PSA, and I forgot the name of the video game grading company. They already know about this. So when they start speculating, they know, hey, if I go and get a high grade book graded, it's worth more to me than a raw dog. As your average comic book collector may not, they may scoff at, grading comics or whatever, but These cats coming into the game already know about grading, and I at least Wada for thank you very much, Wada for games. So that is my view on why. I don't think that all of a sudden a bunch of comic book collectors are like, I need to get everything graded right now. No, I think it's new people into the hobby from other things that are used to getting things graded, and that's why you're seeing such crazy turnaround times. It's not like anything has opened up and things are different, right? It's not like because normally, if we look at this back from a historical lens, right around New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, these really, really big conventions where CGC has a presence. That's where you see the delays. I always tell, oh shit, San Diego Comic Con is right around the corner, or C2E2 is, or New York Comic Con is. I better get my books in before all the people who submit their books at these shows. And if you've been to those shows, you've seen how long the lines are for submissions. So, but right now there's no shows, so it's coming from somewhere. Shout out to Uncanny Swag for I forgot about that. Action figures too. That's a huge thing too. Those Star Wars action figures, the original 12. That's the big money right there.
Yeah, it is.
So.
The elusive Boba Fett. What was it? Like the Boba Fett.
That's there's a
where it shoots out of the back.
The most expensive Boba Fett one is what they call the demo one or whatever. He's not even colored yet. It's
like prototype.
He looks like White Vision. It's the prototype.
Yeah.
That one is like. Do you remember that show? That guy that went that on Netflix used to go look, or it may have been on Discovery or one of those channels. Toy Hunter, yeah. And that was one of his things. To find a Boba Fett, and he bought a set of 12, the original 12, for $110,000.
Wow.
Here's how little I know about action figure grading. I went to Star Wars Celebration maybe 2 years ago or 4 years ago, when it was in Anaheim. I think it was not the last time, but prior, because I told myself I'm never going back because it was absolutely crazy. You think Comic Cons are packed? The Star Wars Celebration gets people from all over the world. I was talking to guys from like Norway, from Russia, from Japan. That was just one, man, people. So there was a Chewbacca figure from the original 12. And I was like, yo, how much for that? And he was like, he's 36. I go, 36, I'll take it. He goes, and then he goes, 3,600. I go, oh shit. Never mind. Because it was, I was like, $36, I'll pay for that. I had no idea. And then I just felt stupid. I just kind of walked away like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I readily admit it. I don't know anything about action figure grading, but it was embarrassing. I was $36, I'll take it. Yeah, 3,600. I'm like, oh shit. Never mind.
No.
Jesus.
Avengers Academy issue number 1, the Djurvik 1/25 variant from 2010. For $227 for a raw dog. Oh, by the way, that's the book. That here, hold on. Let me bring it up. I think that's the book that's already jumped up in price.
The correction today that we got.
Yeah. So a raw dog sold on. So that raw dog sold on. Oh no, actually, no. I'm incorrect in saying that. This person actually saved himself a few bucks. A copy on May 6th sold for $250.
Ooh.
So there you go. There's a trend. All right, next up is oldie but goodie. We love this book or comic or magazine, whatever it is.
Whatever you want to call it. Tim, how did they get your picture on this? I don't want to know. Like,
hey man, I used to be a champion of Tron. That's all I can say, man.
That's it. All right, there we go. Blip, guys. We have talked about this before. Blip, but this has something to do with new collectors coming into the market with video games and cross collecting. So, Blip number 1 is not new to this to the newsletter, but this all-time high price is definitely new. The regular cover edition of the first appearance of Donkey Kong and Mario just hit $1,328 for a CGC 9.8, up from $799 in March. This was a notable bump. Really should be no surprise. With the nostalgia-based Nintendo books like Nintendo Comic System Sneak Peek that came out 7 years after Blip 1, hitting around $2,500. Why shouldn't Mario's first appearance in comics similarly rise? Moreover, there's only 72 copies of Blip number 1 on the CGC census, with 14 of those in 9.8 condition. But some might be saying that Blip is a magazine, not a comic. Correct. That's true. Mario and Donkey Kong just don't appear in some write-up about Donkey Kong Arcade. There's actually a full-blown illustrated comic story featuring both characters. Blip number 1 is commonly going for under $50 raw, so even with this recent rise at the high end, Blip number 1 is no Rodney Dangerfield of Nintendo related comics. No respect. They get no respect. So
yeah,
great book right here. We've been talking about this, and this is real time, you guys. We've
First
watched
appearance
this book
of
go up
Donkey
in price.
Kong and hey Mario, it's me.
Yeah.
Man. I remember Blip magazine. I've never seen a Blip magazine number 1 though. I do
No,
remember.
I've never seen one.
You guys don't. You don't realize how big arcades were like the early 80s, right? I mean, you would walk into one, it was just like Nirvana. The smell of cigarette smoke,
It was like a club.
carpet.
It was like a club.
It was close. Dark in the middle of the day.
Dark.
All lit up.
You could smoke
floors.
cigarettes and play games at the same time if you were, you know what I mean? It was crazy. There would be like an ashtray right next to the thing. You put your quarter up and you do wait. I mean, and then it was like every mall had an arcade.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we would travel far.
I mean, there
wide.
was arcades and Chuck E. Cheese. Now it's like a bunch of bullshit kid stuff, but they actually
but
had
I'm
real
talking like
Tekken,
full on like
Mortal Kombat.
arcade.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Yeah, but
Back
Chuck
in
E.
the
Cheese-
80s.
Yeah, but I remember when in Sunnyvale, when I grew up at the town center, I forgot what it was called, but it was just like wall to wall video games. When I was a kid growing up in Houston.
Oh, at the mall. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I mean, you walk in. I mean, get your tokens, and put in. If you were like a god if you put in like $5 and got all those tokens,
and then you got
know what
more. Like if you put in a 20, you got like $4 more or something.
And I absolutely hated when Dave and Buster's were doing video games and you had to do that stupid card swiping thing. You had no idea how much a game cost.
Yeah,
back in the day, it said it right on there, 25 cents, 50 cents. You know,
dirty ass hands from holding the coins, all the tokens, quarters.
So let me teach you kids a trick, man. So back when video games at my height, 1981, I was a somewhat of a hooligan. Well, I wasn't a hooligan. I was just a misguided adolescent. But this is how you do it. Forget that whole put a quarter on a string. You need a drill bit and all that shit. So this is what you do. You get $1 worth of nickels and you smash them with a really good hammer. And if you smash it just correctly, it's the same size of a quarter.
Oh, look at that.
That's your tip, boys and girls. Nowadays, the technology is much better on video, but early video games of 1981, 1980, 82, you could smash nickels and, make sure you do it right, though, on a flat surface with a really good ball peen hammer. And if you smash the nickel correctly, it'll be the same size of a quarter, and it would trick the games into it. Also,
amazing.
Another one. My older brother taught me this one. On older video games and pinball machines, if you put from how the bottom is where the thing would come out for the change, like if you put it in wrong and it come out. So if you took a penny and then put your finger underneath there and flipped it up, it would trigger the credit.
Really?
That's another trick for you. It's the old penny up the dude. I was a ghetto ass kid, man.
Is that what they call the wazoo?
Yeah, my older brother taught me how to do that, and so eventually, what they did is they put a little thing that you couldn't, put it up there. But there's a penny. You flick it up through the return slot, and it would trigger because so if you know the insides of it, when the quarter hits down, it triggers this little thing that tells you, oh yeah, we received something here. Here's your credit. Well, if you take it and flip it upward, then you do it. Eventually the guys at 7-Eleven would figure out, hey kid, get out of here. I was like in 5th and 6th grade doing it. I was just misguided. I was a misguided youth. I was all bad. All bad. I know. I've gotten much, much worse. Blip number 1 from February 1983, the good old days. I do believe Otto was rocking a mullet. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of him next week for that one. All right. Well, it's time for some new books, or relatively new. What we got next?
New within the last 20 years. Daredevil number 111, the David Aja. Is it Aja? Aha? I don't know.
It's Aja for today.
Okay. This is the limited variant edition. This issue features the first appearance of Lady Bullseye, who was a fantastic take on the Bullseye moniker. However, for the last 10 plus years, we have really not seen her much used in comics. However, she recently returned to the Marvel comic universe and fought Spider-Woman. While this does bring renewed interest in the character, many are speculating that she's a great candidate to show up in the MCU at some point. Regardless, this very hard to find David Aja cover sold for a new high this week of $600 for a CGC. Well, I don't know if it was CGC or CBCS, but it was a 9.8.
Yeah, gorgeous covers. And maybe way later we'll look at it, but this whole run of Aja variants
very
and
cool.
this thing, very cool. Lady Bullseye was a pretty cool character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Aja. Aja also did some of the stuff on the Hawkeye run as well. He does some great covers. But and I always think the same thing about variant artists, that less is more, right? Like Djurjevic, he doesn't do tons of variants. Then what happens is you get the art germ effect, where it's like every week it's an art germ variant. You know what I mean? Peach Momoko is starting to get that way. I think the fewer these guys do, but it's also like, hey,
they're getting paid.
They're getting paid.
They got to make a living, right?
Yeah,
Right.
But there's certain artists that they rarely ever. It's just like Alex Ross too. At a time he started doing a ton of stuff, but then he was doing regular stuff as well. But there's some artists out there, they come across every now and then. I remember when Frank Cho first came on the scene, it was like, that's new. And then it was like, oh, Frank Cho does that on everything. I was like, all right. So yeah, shout out to Frank Cho. You're a perv. I love him. He's such a perv. All right. Daredevil number 111, the David Aja, a limited variant, $600 for 9.8. Let's go back a little bit, shall we?
We're going to go way
I love
back.
these old books.
Oh, look at that. We're going to go way back right here.
Dell Disney books are so cool. I actually have a few, and I have to go and look and see what I've got, because these books are just too cool.
Yeah, this is just awesome. 1953, guys. Listen to this. Have you ever wondered what happened when the highest graded copy of a Golden Age book comes up for sale and a bidding war breaks out? Look no further. Than this mind-blowing sale of $7,200 for a CGC 9.4 copy of Donald Duck number 27. This book is from 1953, features Donald, Huey, Louie, and Dewey. Had a prior high sale of just $149.96 for a CGC 8.5 in June of last year, with this being the next highest graded copy on the census. This goes to show you how important it can be for a book to be on top of the CGC census and what kind of premium that it can demand. There must have been some duck-crazed Disney fans bidding on this auction, because this was one huge ducking sale. Get it? Ducking?
I have a question.
Spent a lot of duck bones on that.
This isn't a key or anything, is it? It's just a high-grade Golden Age book?
Having them on the cover?
There is a subset of collectors that collect everything Disney, and then there's another subset of collectors that collect Disney comics, which are incredibly hard to find, especially in a 9.4, because you got to figure out especially a kid in 1953 who wants to read a Donald Duck book.
Yep.
They were not taking care of it.
But you'd roll it up and put it in your pocket.
Exactly. And that's what most kids do. I mean, back then, the kids didn't care about their baseball cards. They put them in the spokes of their bike to make a cool noise. You know what I mean? God damn, we're old now. We're talking old stuff. But that's why this book is incredible. A 9.4 from 1953, and it's a Donald book. I'll tell you a fun story. In San Francisco, I want to call it that used to be the old base over there by the Golden Gate Bridge. Used to be an old military base. That's where there is I do believe there's a Disney-owned museum, and it has all the Disney artifacts. And I went there about 4 or 5 years ago, and they had like 4 or 5 first appearances of Disney comics hidden in the glass casing. And trust me, I was already looking at cameras and wondering when I can slip into here like fucking Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. You know what I'm saying? Presidio, thank you, Lon Espinosa. So at the Presidio, there's also a statue of Yoda. There's a Star Wars, I think it's a Lucasfilm studio there, or office there, and you see a statue of Yoda there. And there's a Walt Disney Museum. If you ever make it up to San Francisco, head up to the Presidio, look for the Walt Disney Museum. Very, very cool stuff. It shows like the history of Disney of, in the 30s when they're doing strips, and how he opened up Disneyland, and then all the stuff going through Pixar, and they've added some newer stuff. But it's actually incredible if you're a historian and want to know about this stuff. And I'm always looking for comic books, and I found like 3 comic books. I think even they don't have like the first Mickey Mouse comic, you know what I mean? Which is like that's like the holy grail of Walt Disney things. Or if you can find the first Mickey Mouse strip as well, those are also very sought after. If you guys, just go on eBay whenever Disneyland has a giveaway for they're called popcorn tins, I do believe, or something like that. They immediately flip them. You think comic book collectors are bad? People go and buy them at the stores because they only release them limited, right? And so I have a Darth Vader helmet one. I also have my Millennium Falcon one. Because my lady got them for me. But the same day they release them, they typically sell out. People have them in hand and they're taking a picture of them while they're Disneyland and putting it on eBay.
Yeah.
That's how, but they sell out pretty quick. There's also there's more like Disney-esque characters like the carriage from, what's the one with the carriage where it turns to a pumpkin, Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella? Which one is that?
Cinderella, yes.
Yeah. So so Disneyland sells these popcorn holders that are the shape of different things. So sure enough, when I think when the J.J. Abrams' first Star Wars movie came out, I took my Darth Vader helmet with me to the theater to fill it up.
Oh, I love it.
You know what? Where is it? God damn it. Hold on.
All right. As he goes and gets his shout out to everybody in the live chat. We got Newbie and T. Ravis, comic collector geek, cool comic guy. What's up, man? T. Ravis, Spine Ticks, JLS Comics.
Let me show you this one. This is my favorite popcorn holder.
Get out of here.
Dude,
Popcorn goes right in. The popcorn goes right in. As soon as I figure out how to open it. Yeah, and it has a little thing. Yeah,
that's
how
cool.
Dope is that?
That is cool. That is cool.
This is a popcorn holder that they're selling. So
how much popcorn does it hold?
Not much.
But free refill, why not?
Exactly. Yeah. So where's my?
That's a good whatchamacallit, though. That's a good mold of it too.
Hold on.
I knew you were going to get that. That's what I was going to say. I thought you had that.
But there's more. I add it.
That's the popcorn holder too, right?
Yep. So there's a whole thing of popcorn holders that you could have. I also have a Darth Vader helmet as well. Oh shit.
Oh, look at that.
Here we go. Show and
I put a
tell.
lot of Jameson in
Come
it
for a Shaker's list and you get a show and tell.
Look at that.
Ladies
You
and
can show
gentlemen.
and tell.
Nice.
Oh, that is dope too.
Pop them to head.
Oh,
you know what's funny? I used to do raffles through this. One of these days, I'm going to pull out a name to see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember the old days of Instagram raffles?
Yeah.
Let's see who would have won.
Before we discovered the list generator.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. This was back in the old days. We had to cut up names. Poe Jeffer. Who are these people? One last one. I took the wings off it, but this is the TIE Fighter.
Wow.
You think you know somebody, and then he pulls out 10 different kind of
That's
popcorn.
cool, man.
holders.
And the popcorn goes inside there, and then you just hang it around your neck. So there you go. So that's my little. I should have done that on Roger's show. Where he goes, "Hey, what do you collect that people wouldn't know that you collect?" Well, I collect Star Wars popcorn holders.
Look at that, man.
And hopefully Avengers will have some too. When Avengers Campus opens at Disneyland, I'm going in a couple of weeks actually. So hopefully they have some popcorn holders too. I can't wait for that. So
Can't wait.
Anyway, there you go. All my popcorn orders. Let's start bidding now. All right, let's start. $1.
Let's
I'm
go.
just kidding. Donald Duck issue number 27 from 1953, 9.4 for $7,200. That's amazing that this, because superhero books, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's a 9.4, but a Donald Duck book, that's crazy, man. All right, so we go from Donald Duck to something really in the future.
Yeah, to Punisher 2099 #1. This is the newsstand edition. And it's a perfect example of how crazy the market is and the high value placed on both newsstands and nostalgia. Newsstands and nostalgia. That sounds like a good podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, now, if you were a collector in the 90s, then you clearly remember the 2099 line. Some were great, some were not so great. However, this version of the Punisher was a fun read and one of the surprises of the 2099 line. What's odd is that both the direct edition and newsstand copies of this book are both seeing upward trends. The direct edition saw Near Mint Plus raw copy sell for $43 this week, and the newsstand sold in CGC 9.8 for an all-time high of $295. If you asked us if we'd ever see this book have any value, we would have to say no. But here we are. Well, maybe one day Ravage #1 can sell for $50 in a 9.8.
Yeah, that is that is like 1993 XS at its worst or at its best. That costume is really, really
insanity.
Out there. Yeah. I mean, people thought Cosmic Ghost Rider Punisher was weird, but Punisher 2099. I mean, what they thought 2099 would look like back in 1993 is probably different from what we would think 2000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
That costume. I mean, and then of course the 90s was, what was it? All about shoulder blades. Remember, Blazers had giant. Everybody had shoulder pads. All right, man. Go look at a suit from the 80s and 90s. Boy.
Oh man,
I mean, we had like 4 or 5 buttons. We had shoulder pads. It was crazy, man. So there you go. Like Punisher 2099, the newsstand version. Well, if we say newsstand from 1993, you know what I got to do.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Throw out this graphic that I see everybody using now. 1990, a newsstand was 15% as opposed to 85%. 1995 newsstand was only 10%. So 1993 newsstand is seems to be somewhat rare, I would think. So there you go, man. All right, what do we got next?
All right, we're getting down to a Superman book right here. Lois and Clark.
Gorgeous.
This is an unbelievable cover right here. This is the Lois and Clark #1, the Tony Daniel variant, the 1 in 25, came out in 2015. You know what? Despite recent movement of Jonathan Kent's first appearance as a baby in Conversion Superman #2, many collectors that we don't put a lot of faith in as a baby first appearance. Baby Nathan Summers, aka Cable, and Uncanny X-Men 201. This first issue features the first appearance of Jonathan Kent, later Superboy, as a child. We see him age through Superman Volume 4 with a first in costume in Superman Volume 4 #2, and officially introduced as Superboy in Superman Volume 4 #6. This variant hit an all-time high raw sale this week of $118. DC seems to be investing heavily in John Kent, which makes this book a solid watch if you're paying attention. So, what a sick cover, though, man! Holy crap.
Tony S. Daniel cover. I mean, dope. This is one of the better variants that are out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tony S. Daniel made his bones from at least I can remember doing Spawn books, and then he did the Twitch. What was the name of those 2 detectives on Spawn?
Oh, I don't remember.
Twitch and somebody, the skinny and the fat guy, right? I do believe Tony S. Daniel was found. Todd McFarlane found Tony S. Daniel for Image. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember he did quite a run on Spawn for a while, and his art was very Spawn-esque. Like you notice, all the artists that followed McFarlane on Spawn, they were similar aesthetically to his style. Obviously Tony S. Daniel has progressed in his art, but back then they all kind of had the same aesthetic that Todd McFarlane did, in the 90s when he was doing Spawn. So, but this is absolutely gorgeous cover. I dig the way
I need to get one of these.
Yeah.
There's no graded copies, and I don't really want to buy a raw one. I'm afraid, especially at that price.
Yeah.
Because I'll wait. But I want a graded one.
Yeah.
I have the Convergence one because that's the one I thought about, but as a baby, I get it.
Yeah. If you saw the CGC times today that they posted today, it's unbelievably how long it is for moderns, even fast tracked. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's 82.
Disgusting. Oh, sickening.
All right, Superman, Lois and Clark, #1, the 1 in 25, Tony S. Daniel cover variant. All right, last one, boys and girls. What do we got?
Well, last but not least, we have Thor God of Thunder #2. This is the Daniel Acuna 1 in 50 variant. That is a pretty cool cover on that horse. There was a recent leak that Thor Love and Thunder by a former disgruntled Marvel employee who worked on the film. We can't confirm if this is true or not. Okay, so don't shoot the messenger. But it did lay out Gore, the God Butcher's role in the film. Without touching any of those leaks, this book did see a boost in sales for the standard cover and moved a CGC 9.0 for $700. CGC 9.8s are stagnant at $2,300 right now. Many watching these will wait for one to sell.
Yep. So obviously, Gore the God Butcher is coming to. We already know who. It's going to be Christian Bale. He's going to be coming. So this guy, supposedly who got fired off of the Thor and Love and Thunder set, decided to go on 4chan and just air out all of his
Grievances.
stuff. And I will tell you one, because I'm not spoiling it, because we actually had it on a long-term spec list. And part of his 4chan spec, or his 4chan data dump, was that Hercules and Thor would be fighting each other in Thor.
We've been talking about Hercules for a year already.
Yeah. I mean, we already know Zeus is coming, so read the tea leaves, man. If Zeus is coming, Hercules is around the corner. The way they framed it was more like, Hercules and Thor were fighting, but it was more like, it was a joke. It wasn't like serious. We're gonna kill you, like Captain America and Iron Man in Civil War, but. So that's where the genesis of that is. So there you go, boys and girls, all 10 of them. Don't feel bad that you didn't do 10 out of 10, because this is a Shakers list. There's a reason why this list is a little bit different and special, because we just look at special one-offs,
stuff that you really don't see often on lists. I mean, especially those Disney books and all that. Speaking of Disney books, put it on me real quick. I want to show some of these. I mean, they're not 9.8s, but it got me a little nostalgic to go through and check it out. And I'll share them. This one.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know the date on this one.
The Submarine Pirates.
This one is really cool. Nice Donald Duck, 1949.
Did you put those bad boys on CovrPrice yet?
No. I'm going to actually get them graded. They'll probably come back 4 to 7, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Anytime you get early Walt Disney comics, it's a good thing. Look at that.
Huey, Louie, and Dewey again, right there.
Well,
Huey Lewis on the news. Look at that.
Yeah.
Looks like he's taking a dump.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought at
some
first.
cool books, man, from the golden age.
All right. Well,
That's
you
all
know
I
what?
got.
Let's see what's shaking today, man. Hold on. Let's go over and see what's shaking on the CovrPrice website.
Let's do it.
Take Ryan off the screen. Damn it.
Yeah, you've had enough of my pretty face.
Okay. Let's go to CovrPrice and see. Here's the top 10 that we already covered over the week. These are the movers. Hey,
Oh, look
Jupiter's
at
Legacy
Carnage
number.
right there,
I
361.
love Jupiter's Legacy, by the way. I don't care what people have said.
No, I'm taking it.
Stop comparing it to the boys, too, for
Yeah.
God's sake. What the fuck's wrong with you people? It's nothing like the boys. Jesus Christ. Anyway, these are the daily shakers. If you have a minimum subscription, I think you only see like 8 of them or 6 of them. But if you have a full-blown membership for $6.99, you get to see all 50 of them shake. Oh, look at that. I got 1. I got 3 on the first of the
I want that number 3 World's Finest
Let's
so
take a look
bad.
at it.
It's definitely on the want list of mine for sure.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, these goofy
Is
golden
that
the best. They're
Golden
the
Age,
best.
Golden
They're the
Age
best.
Scarecrow right there?
Yeah, first Scarecrow.
First
Yeah.
appearance and origin of Scarecrow. 4.5 sold yesterday for almost $6,000. Look at that.
Yep.
Scarecrow is such a serious character, but then you got Batman, Robin, and apparently Superman is the umpire.
Yeah, right.
There's always
Tim, go to the X-Men 129. This book has skyrocketed. I mean, you're talking 4 or 5x for this.
Yeah, I have a signed copy from Chris Claremont. Oh, this
Yeah.
this is the newsstand. First
the
appearance, Kitty
newsstand.
Pride, Emma Frost, the White Queen. 9.6 sold for $23.50
Oh,
today.
my God.
That's how
Wow,
updated this
okay.
is. That's from
Boom.
today. May 6 and 9.8 sold for
Yes.
$13,250.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, mine is
The market's
unfortunately
drunk.
Yeah, before mine was a little bit lower grade. I don't know why though. I should have got it redone. Oh, hey.
Special edition comics, Captain Marvel.
That's
That
good.
looks
Oh
like
my
a
God!
cool
This
book
is
right
that.
there.
This reminds me of that Wonder Woman cover where she's
Yeah.
like strapped to a missile.
This is
That is
great.
hilarious.
This is great.
64 pages for what? 10
I've never
cents?
seen this book. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this was back Fawcett Comics from 1940.
Oh,
6.0
man.
sold for $5,900. What's the
Wow.
highest? That is the highest known value. If we look at sales,
None.
there's not many at all. I mean, there's 4 6.0s,
6
one
sales.
5.5, one
7.
4.0. So yeah, this is one of those things where if you see
All
it,
right,
buy it.
I gotta find
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a first appearance or anything, but it's a comic from 1940.
Shazam is riding a bullet. Come on,
Yeah.
how much better could you get?
Dude, you got 64 pages for 10 cents.
Look at that.
64 pages nowadays will
In
cost you
full
$20.
color. I know, in full color.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
What a time!
Yes, sir. Oh, Batman.
All winners. I love these Golden Age, man. These Golden Age books are cool.
Look at that.
Especially Golden Age Marvel.
Look at Submariner on this cover.
Well,
Submariner.
timely,
I think that's Toro, and I think that's the Human Torch, and then you got Bucky.
Yeah, and you got all the
Captain
Nazis.
America. Look at that. This is a Marvel book, actually, from 1943.
Okay.
All Winners Comics. I don't think this is Marvel.
I thought it was timely or something.
Yeah. So I meant they probably just put it at
But I mean, it's the same thing. But.
Yeah, but even as timely, look, like this was, they talk about how this was like the propaganda war stories. You've got the Nazis on the bottom, the planes overhead, Captain America on top of them. With
what
the USA.
comics did during World War II was the cool, and they would get you to buy bonds. They would get Superman, buy bonds for the soldiers. You'd have pictures,
Look at
it
this.
was cool stuff.
Let me read you the synopsis of this. Torch and Toro must stop the mad plans of a Nazi lunatic who was released from an asylum from assisting Hitler in a fantastic plan to invade England. A cruel Japanese warlord thirsting for revenge for the shame thrust upon the honorable ancestors of the Nippon by the United States devised a plan to kill General Douglas MacArthur in order to wipe out the memory of the Japanese defeat. Oh my God.
Intense.
Look at that. You don't see these often. The only time you see these are
that's super cool.
At shows where people just put them, they don't want to sell them because they put a super high price. They just want to see how cool. Look at that. That's 2 Mexican Spider-Man books on here. I guess that's the new thing now.
Yeah.
But we don't care about Spider-Man. We care about Speed Carter, Spaceman.
Yes, we do. Wow.
Look at that.
Going on to the frosty planet.
From 1954, 8.5 sold for $1,500. That's
you know what? I might start getting into stuff like this. Forget superheroes. I'm going to this kind of stuff.
Especially if they're high grade Golden Age books. I mean,
the art alone is just so like, I don't know. It's a different time, man.
It is.
It's a time capsule. You're going back in time.
It is.
There's another one. Another Spider-Man.
All the advertisement. This is the one that we actually had on one of our lists. This is the sexy cover. I like this one. Ooh. I think this was on our top 10 or on our Shakers list.
So pretende hombre araña.
Oh, very good, Ronnie. Yeah. Jesus Christ, $1,050 for a raw dog yesterday. My God. Time to go to Mexico and see if they have comic shops, man. Red Sonja is getting all kinds of. So this is Red Sonja number 1 now. So now we saw like the Red Sonja first appearance, second appearance, and now the first solo series. I do believe this is the first solo series.
Very buxom.
Yeah, very. $699, $700 for a 9.8. Book came out in 1977. That's not bad. So, see, in the past, Conan movies, whatever movies came out, didn't affect comic books at all whatsoever. But now we're seeing things that weren't originally.
Go to that DC Comics Presents.
Down here. First, what's his
First
name?
Teen Titans.
There you
First
go.
appearance of Cyborg, Raven, Starfire, Robin, Wonder Girl, Kid Flash. Has it me or has it been forever since like the next season of Titans has come out?
It's been forever.
It's got to come out soon.
Jesus. Are they filming it? I mean, what the hell?
It's done. No, it's done. It's June,
I think. Because I remember they showed like Starfire's new costume and everything. So, we shall see. That seems rather pretty good. Reasonably priced, actually. $556 for 9.6?
Yeah.
Seems really cheap. Let's see what the highest, $1,600 for a 9.8 seems rather cheap too. But that was sold 2 months ago. Looks like. So I mean that seems reasonable to me.
DC books, man. I'm telling you,
especially
they are affordable.
Well, it's because where are they showing? Nobody.
Well, everything's. Let's be honest. Everything's driven by TV and movies. So,
yeah, and nobody gives a shit about the CW.
Exactly.
But I think HBO Max may change that. Just how Disney Plus changed that for Marvel, I think HBO Max will change that
because I have 80% DC in my collection. Yeah, so I need something to turn around.
Man,
speaking of DC, there you go.
Look at this Detective Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love the Golden Age highlights tonight.
So this is Detective Comics number 9. They were up to 90 issues already in 1944. That boggles the mind. A raw dog sold for $474. Highest known value is a 9.6 that sold for $13,000 in November of 2020. That's crazy. Venom versus Carnage, obviously.
I had that Thor book.
There you go. We're gonna make this an all DC, DC show just for Ryan.
I like it.
Wow, they actually covered her up. She doesn't have the window to.
Yeah, this is issue 97. So I think
First
this is
appearance of
her
Power Girl in her solo series.
solo. Okay.
Yeah, $465.
1977.
You know what? I did not know about this book at all, and now I want to go out and get it. Showcase presents Power Girl. Nice first solo series. I can dig it. Oh, here's that Wolverine.
Yeah, I gotta stick one of my long boxes to see if I have it.
Wolverine
Masters of the Universe.
Something is killing the children is all over here.
All over.
It's ridiculous.
The He-Man, that's going to get even bigger after the news today from Kevin Smith.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Number 10, too. Why number 10?
Yeah.
Look at that cover. That's awesome.
That is gnarly.
Who is that? Is that like
Check out the big brains on Brad.
It's Brad right there. This is.
Oh my God, Masters Universe. If you haven't seen it, check out the animated stills that Kevin Smith released on his social medias. The animation looks really good. It's actually got me kind of hyped for it. So $810 for 9.8. Does anybody know the significance of this book besides being the first appearance of the big brains on Brad?
Yeah. It's got to be like a low print run or something like, because that's got to, I don't know how long that series lasted.
This, I do believe this
is that in glow in the dark?
I don't think it is a glow in the dark. It's just it almost looks like, this is a weird one. The second print, let me look at the other printings. That's
Thank
why.
You, King of the Golden State.
Yeah. So there you go. $350 for a 9.8. And here's the other printings if you want to know. There's this one, all one. And I forgot which one it was that was really sought after. Is it this one? Fair Machiavelli 23.
Apparently, it's that gray one because
it's this
the
one
most
here.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Third print is $220 for a raw dog. Did you say the gray one? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 500.
I've never seen this in my life, actually. Oh, because it's from Finland. That's why.
Dankeschön. I don't know if that's German. I don't know.
I don't think that's Finnish.
It sounded right at the time. Okay.
Okay. Peter said $539 for a raw dog for a book from Finland, which just looks kind of dope.
It looks like they photocopied it on a Xerox machine.
I am in the middle of looking for a certain raw book, and I don't want to tell anybody because I want to keep it to myself. But when I do, I'm going to show you guys.
Okay, tell me when you log off.
Yeah, I'm going to show it to you guys when I find it because it's pretty awesome. The book. It's an homage to a famous cover, and it's from Europe. And
really?
It's a European book, or it's a European
version
print?
of.
Okay.
It's a European version of it, but the cover was only done on this European book. And it's an homage to a very, very famous cover that you'll see. And I'm in the process of hunting it down, and I realized, man, they're selling for a lot. So hopefully, I'm looking at one on eBay right now. So. Hey, man, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed our little spiel and looking at some cool stuff, talking about some cool comics. A Panini book. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet, JLS Comics.
Yeah, dinner time.
Yeah. No, I meant, I ain't going to tell you where it's from, Italy, or I didn't say Italy. Oh, fucking don't be trying to get up in
Europe.
my game.
Okay, Europe
is very large.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it could be Portugal, so stop it. All right. Any last words, Dark Side Jedi?
Hey, as always, thank you for joining us on a Thursday night. We love giving you the Shakers list. We got some cool books on this list this week. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it.
That's right, boys and girls. And Otto, any last words?
Yes, thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's a great time. The mullet, might be the mullet, the medium. I got my youngest. This was actually Cristiano's shirt, the 10-year-old shirt. I bought him a Lord shirt a couple of years ago, so now I'm rocking it. So I got the medium, the mullet, all that good stuff. All of this medium, So, but I do want to tell you guys, in a week from Saturday, we are holding the 3 Men in the Basement comic swap. But this Friday, we're doing something very unique on the 3 Men in the Basement channel at 8 p.m. We are having many vendors, 8 to 10 of the vendors will be coming on live with us for 10 to 12 minutes to talk about books they are bringing to the swap, what they are donating for our raffle. And you can see some of the people that will be joining us tomorrow night. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you're on the fence about coming to the swap in Newington, Connecticut, maybe showing these books will get you to take the 2 or 3 hour drive or however long as it takes. And we're very excited for that. So join us tomorrow, 3 Men in the Basement, 8 o'clock. And great hanging out with everybody tonight, everybody in the live chat. Your comments have just been fantastic. Appreciate every single one of you. Been great hanging out with my fellow Lords tonight. So it's a great week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the Bad Batch tonight. Check out 3 Men in the Basement tomorrow at 5 p.m. And then at 6 p.m. also check out the Comic-Con podcasts. They're going live as well. And I will be back on Sunday, the much hyped episode of me and Mikey Sutton. We got an Omega Red scoop for you. So we'll be Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Until then, boys and girls, we're going to go out old school style. So keep digging in them long boxes and stay safe and peace out, boys and girls. As I promise you, we're going to go out old school style. I can't
No way.
Technical difficulties. That is old school.
Keep digging in the long boxes, y'all.
Cool.
Peace out.
It's usually my...
Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Come on and get some, boys.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 3 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
Laugh it up, fuzzball. In this, you shall know that the Lord is outside.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is outside. In this, you shall know that the Lord is outside.
Come on and get some, boys.
What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is outside.
What's in the box?